Wishing you all a wonderful day. And welcome to a new video. I'm Ruba, in case this is your first time watching us. Today I'm going to share with you how to make fig jam. In this video we'll be using green figs that have a honey-like, slightly light-colored center so the jam comes out golden and beautiful. We choose ripe figs, and the ones that are a bit firm are also good for making fig jam. I shared the method for preparing it in a previous video. In the past, our grandmothers used to open the figs by hand like this. Of course, we can also cut them with a knife. Each fig can be cut into 4 or 6 pieces. After cutting all the figs, for every kilo of figs, we add 500 grams of sugar. And of course, if you want to reduce the sugar a bit, you can do that. You can add 400 grams for every kilo if you prefer. I'm using 1,200 grams of figs, so I added 600 grams of sugar. We add the sugar to them and mix them a little. Then we leave them for 2 hours, stirring every now and then until about half of the sugar dissolves. It won't all dissolve. Of course, before putting them on the stove, just stir them every 15 minutes so the figs release a good amount of their water. After that, we put them in a pot on the stove. It's best to use a non-stick pot with a thick bottom so the jam doesn't burn. At first, keep the heat high so the jam starts cooking. Once it starts cooking, lower the heat and remove all the white foam that forms on the surface. Of course, the cooking time for the jam depends on the quantity we're making. The larger the amount of figs, the longer the cooking time. After about 20 to 30 minutes on the stove, they should be simmering on low heat. You can leave the jam as is in chunks, or mash it a bit with this potato masher, or even use a fork. And of course, if you like your jam smooth, you can blend it in a blender. And during this time, I'm going to toast a bit of sesame seeds, about a 1/4 cup. The taste of toasted sesame in the jam is really delicious. I stir them a bit until they turn a light golden color, then add them to the jam. And of course, if you want to add nuts, you can add them too. And if you prefer to leave them as they are, that's also possible. I'm going to chop a bit of walnuts and stir them for a bit on the stove in a dry pan, without oil or anything, just enough so they get toasted and take on that roasted flavor. And once I have a minute, I toast the walnuts. I'll also add a small handful of pine nuts, stir them together until they turn a golden color, and then add them to the jam. And of course, as I said, the nuts are optional, but they'll give it a really delicious flavor. And to keep the jam for a long time without the sugar crystallizing in it, we'll add half a teaspoon of citric acid, stir everything together, and boil it for about 10 minutes until the jam thickens. It took me about 45 minutes after they started boiling, of course, because the quantity is small. But as I mentioned, the more figs you use, the longer the cooking time. I fill the jam into jars, wipe around the rim, this is very important, then seal them well and place them upside down on the lid until the next day or until they cool down. And now the jam is ready. I hope you enjoyed the video.